Hey, what's up guys? It's Kaleo here. Sorry I'm not getting this video up until like 2 days after, but I went to the Charlotte Regionals. It's the first tournament I've ever been in, and I mean tournament as in I've never played in a tournament before. I've never played at locals, never been to a regional, obviously I've never been to a YCS. So just went on a whim, just because my friends wanted me to go. Figured I'd try my deck out, and if you can see over here, I went X3. Finished 6-3 at my first regional, so first tournament ever. It was actually really good. So freaking tired. I'm still trying to recover because as soon as I got home at 4 o'clock in the morning and I had to work at 10 after being up for like almost 24 hours. It was a good experience. Before I show you my deck list, I just wanted to go into my matchups and basically how the day went for me. So first off, we'll start off with Dino Rabbit. My round one was to a really good player. He's played in a lot of tournaments before. So I lost 2-1. Game 1, I actually won pretty easily. I think part because he didn't know what I was playing. And then he scooped and decided to go to game 2. And then 2 and 3. Keep in mind, this is my first tournament ever. I'd never side deck. I don't know how to side deck at all. His side deck just destroyed me. I think game 2 was a macrocosm of it, even though I had the 3 MSTs and everything. I didn't make good side deck choices. Game 3, I tried to tweak I tried to side in better cards. Still didn't work out for me. So he won 2-0 after I beat him game 1 off 0-1. So I was pretty bummed out after that. Next game, I played Karakuri. Game 1, I actually lost, but I don't know. I think he kind of cheated me because I declared attack one turn, and then later on he said no, I didn't. So I was like, okay, but he ended up giving it to me, and then I took 2 direct attacks from 2 monsters from him, and then I attacked into one of his monsters, crashing into it to lose a little life points. I did that twice to get some chip, and I took some chip damage. Next thing you know, he says I have 100 life points left, and I'm like, I just had over like a couple thousand. There's no way that chip damage was that much. So argue it with him, I ended up losing game 1. Then game 2 and 3 I won, so I ended up winning it. My actually won me that match. I learned a lot from my loss in game 1, and that was really a crash course on how to side properly in my deck. And honestly, most of the games that I won that I shouldn't have due to the matchup, I won because of my side. So that loss from that Dino Rabbit player really helped me, and I won with Karakuri. Next up, I played a dragon player. It wasn't Chaos Dragons. It was a really weird dragon deck. It used Dragon Ravine, it used Blue Eyes, and it used its one Red Eyes Darkness Metal and Eclipse Wyvern. I'm sorry, not Eclipse. The Wyvern that brings it out, Darkness Metal in the end phase. I 2-0'd. I 2-0'd him. It was pretty easy. I mean, he said he was a judge, but then he messed up a lot of the rulings and actually called the judge over, and they ruled in my favor over a Sangan getting that search even after you not Forbidden Lance, the other one, Forbidden Chalice it. So I didn't really know what to think of that, but I won that one. Round 4, I played a 6 Samurai deck. I 2-0'd him. Game 1 was pretty easy. Game 2, I sided into, but he didn't even side, so that was a pretty easy win for me. So that was 3-1 at that point. And then round 5, I played a Glad Beast, and I will be honest. Out of the non-tier decks, Glad Beast is my absolute worst matchups. Like, obviously, your wind-up matchup is going to be tough. Dino Rabbit, I probably could have got if I knew how to side properly. Probably my worst matchups as far as the tier decks. But Glad Beast shits on me. And I got destroyed game 1. Just being honest, I didn't attack him once. It ended 8,000-0, and I got fucking destroyed. So I sided. I'll show you guys my side deck and explain it when I show you my deck list and everything. And my side deck actually won me games 2 and 3, and I don't know how. That was probably the best match I played throughout the whole tournament to pull that win off. I didn't misplay at all. Well, I take that back. I misplayed once, but it didn't really matter that much. So game 2, I basically sat on Zen mains for F. He didn't have an out to it. He finally composed it, and yeah. And then game 3, I don't remember much of it, but I think I ended up summoning Jinzo and getting game from there because he had all that back row. Sounds about right. And then, yeah, so I somehow pulled off the Glad Beast. And even funnier, for some reason, I took out my Thunder Kings, but not without even thinking. So I beat the Glad Beast player without Thunder Kings in games 2 and 3. So, whatever make of that. Round 6, I played a guy that actually goes to locals here. He was really cool. I actually 2-0'd him, but he ended up finishing X and 2, and I finished X and 3. So he finished better than me, but I beat him. But honestly, he doesn't like playing against Monarchs, and I'll give him that, you know. So he was actually a good player, and he's really cool. The first time I actually met him, and so I beat him. So I'm standing after round 6, 5-1. Actually, the only one out of all of my friends, 5-1. I go and play Heroes again, round 7, and get destroyed. Like, this guy, he said he just got back to the game, but he was a very competitive player. Went to a lot of tournaments. But and by the way, so far, and actually everyone I played was really cool. This guy was really cool. I actually traded with him after, talked some advice. He helped me out and stuff, you know. And he was a really cool guy. All of his friends were there and stuff. But his deck was honestly just better than mine. He was not only a good player, but he was running a really solid build. He saw him morning my Jinzo game 2. I know that just wouldn't let my monsters do anything. And he had every out. He had the Solemn Warning, Solemn Judgment. He super polyed me for game, which was actually really fortunate for him that he did that when I didn't have a Fader in hand. So he was able to get the win off game 2 pretty easily, which is good. It was a good move for him to not delay the game, because if he delayed the game, he would have given me more of a... Actually goes really well the longer the game goes. So he ended it quickly. It was props for him, you know. So I got my 6-2 record. I'm sorry, 5-2 roads round 8. And honestly, I got shit on again. Game 1, I got shit on. Well, I'll take that back. Actually, it was really close because he opened really shitty. But he kept me from winning long enough so that he finally opened everything he needed, and he was able to pull the win off. And then game 2 and 3, I sided, and my side deck basically won games 2 and 3 for me to pull it off. I don't think I fossil dined him, but I was able to pull off the win against Dark Roads somehow. And then round 9, I flipped deck. Game 1 was actually really, really close. It was back and forth, and able to go off because I ran out of Veilers, to be honest. I ran out of Veilers, and he was at 2,000, and I was at 1,000, and he attacked me, and I finally didn't have an answer to an attack, since, you know, obviously I don't play traps. So he was able to pull the win off. It was really close. I actually almost won game 1, but if this happened, then that, you know, the fact is I lost. So it was actually pretty close too. His side wasn't really affecting my deck as bad as he probably would have hoped. He didn't draw into his hate side for me. Like, he didn't draw into his defissures and everything, so I was able to have my Treeworm play most of the time. And then finally, got to give this props for this. He sided one Mind Crush, so I searched a tour guide with my Sangan. End phase, he flipped Mind Crush, called my tour guide, and then he looked at my hand, saw that I had no Veiler, and the next turn he went off because I didn't have a Veiler or a Battle Fader. Actually, no, I did have a Battle Fader, but I couldn't activate Mind Crush. He read my hand and saw that I had no answers to his Shockmaster, so he went into Shockmaster and 2 or 3 other Exceeds, and after that I couldn't come back after that. So, which is expected in my deck since I don't play traps. It gives windups a really, really huge advantage over that. They're able to take advantage and loop at will normally. So yeah, so that's my matchups. I finished the day 6-3. Honestly, I'm so surprised. I didn't expect to do that well at my first tournament ever. Now, especially playing a deck, which I'll give you guys a deck list. You guys have probably seen it before. It's my Chaos Monarch deck. It's not like I said, I'm just really surprised that I was able to pull that win, all those wins off, against all really good players and really cool players. But my 3 losses, I'm gonna be honest, my 3 losses were to players that were better than me. I'm not gonna say that they were running better decks. They just made less. They made less misplays, and they made the better judgment calls most of the time. that's it. I'm going to shut this video off and go into my deck list and explain probably a little further. But I will see you guys soon. Peace.